Oh, hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I'm gonna start off mixing my tree fern mix. I think I'm gonna revert back to my tree fern mix, the 1.0, so the very first tree fern mix I've ever done. It has resulted, and I guess this is a 6-month update. This beautiful Burle Marx flame doing her thing. Look at this new leaf. So I know Monsteras tend to be more resilient than, for example, Anthuriums, but I feel this is fantastic to see. God. At such an early age in the plant, like she's not tall by any means, but she's just progressing so fast. So this is an example, 6-month update. So we'll just situate her here. Another example, another 6-month update. We have Miss Red Crystal over here, the one that has popped a bunch over here. So I don't know if this is related to nutrients or the substrate, but it seems like it's only happening on this side. I feel like I'd see more on this side if it was related to those things. So I'm thinking it might have just got crushed. I'm not sure, but what a beautiful, beautiful plant. So another example of a plant that's lived in the substrate that I'm going to make. So I have only used 4 components, and so it's tree fern substrate, the brand Fernwood. So I buy the big one over here. I think I have used up half the bag, so 4-liter bag, but there's approximately 20 liters. You know me, everyone, these days, I'm not precise, like, and for people who will argue that, like, you need to be precise, do you think plants in nature that are growing so beautifully, do you think they have precise measurements? No, they don't. So we're just gonna eyeball it. We're gonna do number 4 perlite. So I have already, it's dripping. I've already, not washed them. I've already just run water over them just because dry perlite, when the dust particles go everywhere, you're not supposed to inhale it. It's really bad for you. So I kind of poked holes at the bottom. I just ran water over the bag. And so I have 4 of these, and you can see, if you can zoom in, it's very chunky. So we're gonna use that one. And I think 4 of those bags make approximately the same amount as the tree fern, if not a little less. And then moving on to the 3rd component, we got Lusciuzapon. They had to ship it in these bags. Lusciuzapon right there. And we'll see. I think I'm gonna add 2 parts. And lastly, fluval stratum. I'm probably just gonna do a half part. Although it's not identical to the one I used like the very first time, it's the same 4 components. I'm not gonna complicate it with worm castings or biochar. I'm going to just stick with the classics. So yeah, 6 months later, we've continued on this journey, this tree fern journey, seeing really good results. I still, like, obviously every substrate has their pros and cons, and this is just like a personality. This is a personal preference, but the mixing of all of this, I don't know how people do it. Maybe people are only doing small batches, but honestly, it's a lot. Everything gets everywhere. It's super messy. And another thing is, like, if you run out of one component, you have to like go and get it. That's why I really liked LECA in the past. You just buy one substrate. That's why I liked Lusciuzapon in the past. You just buy one bag and it's already there. Tree fern, you have to like see what's low and, oh, make a mess. So I'm just gonna put the perlite in here. Do you know what? I should just cut the bag open since I'm gonna use all of it, just to minimize the, I don't know what the words are. Okay, so here's the tree fern. Okay, so because I don't want things going everywhere, I'm just gonna put some water just to settle the dust particles. They're not dust particles, the tree fern particles. Because when you start mixing it, things are just gonna start flying. And what I've noticed is you can't just run it over like this. You have to like move it because the tree fern was so packed in the bag that it doesn't necessarily go all the way through. So I'm just kind of moving it as I go, just to make sure everything is a little moist, just so nothing's flying up in the air into my nostrils. Now I think I'm gonna have to take some of the tree fern out. Now looking at it, like it's almost to the top. So I'm gonna put them in a different container, just because I feel like it's gonna be too much. If I need to add more, I'll just add it later, but. Okay, then adding the perlite, again, there is already a layer at the bottom, so we're gonna add the 3 bags. And I totally forgot that I need to break up a lot of chunks in here. But I think just in the process of mixing it, I'll just break the chunks as I see them. I'm just kind of leveling it out, seeing what else I could fit. I think I can do the 2 bags of pod. I'm just gonna do it, whatever. So, le choux upon right here. My favorite substrate. Okay, and then we're gonna do like a half part of stratum. And again, we're eyeballing it. It's not too serious, everyone. And we're just gonna mix it. This is probably gonna take half an hour or 15 minutes, maybe not half an hour, we'll see. Okay, everyone, I was right. It took about half an hour. I had to take some out. I had to add more perlite. What it's giving right now is wetness, and like it was a little bit too heavy. So I took some of the substrate out, and so the ratios will probably be a little off. You know, again, what I usually do when I first make it, I grab a ton, I squish it, like I try to compress it together and just like see like all the air pockets and just let it fall apart so you could see what's inside. Making sure it's even, obviously, but what I've learned also with just, you can do this with like aeroid mixes, not limited to tree fern, but make sure when you're mixing it, make sure it's wet or like maybe a little moist, just because when you water your plants, that's the state it's going to be in order for like healthy root growth to like be initiated. So that's why I was wetting the tree fern in this bin. Okay, and then the very last thing I do, I just take any planter, like any one that I'm going to use, I put the substrate in. I like push it down because that really tests like through time, the compression. Push it down and then see if the water goes through easily. So, can y'all see? Yeah, so it's going right through. I don't know if y'all can see. Future Kevin, zoom in. It's going right through. It's not even like, you know when the soil fills with water and then like it kind of doesn't drain fast enough? It's not pooling at the top. So this is perfect. Okay, so moving on to, I'm gonna do something gutsy, everyone. So this is my Monstera mint, NOID mint. This plant is originally from House of Monstera. This is her. I was so happy she finally gave me a bit more green because the previous leaves are just cream like that. I'm going to take a top cutting, and I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure what the aerial root looks like. So right there, aerial root, that's going to be the only one. There is a fresh one up there, so I'm definitely going to submerge that one as well. I just like see a node that has a lot of green and cream like going through it. And so we're just gonna chop above that node and right under that root that I really like. And the reason why I wanna do that, I don't know what it is. I think it might be the plant itself, but every time the root hits the reservoir, it rots. I feel like it would have a better time in a different substrate, maybe tree fern. Again, I don't know. So let's get the shears. And you know, this might be a mistake, but I don't care. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, see, the roots are not good. Okay, so this was on the moss pole, and I didn't know what was underneath. It wasn't even alive. There is another root, which it looks like it was rotting at the bottom. I think ultimately our best bet is this root right there. Do you see that? So I'm gonna submerge this part. It's gonna be tree fern. I'm gonna get rid of this leaf, I think, unless the node looks good. It's kind of just cream, but how wild. Oh my god. I think I have to get rid of this cream leaf. I think it's just gonna drain all the energy for now, and we'll repot later. I'm just gonna put it in the small one, the same one I used when I was testing the drainage of this plant, of the substrate. And so, oh gosh, this is so scary. So I'm just grabbing my substrate, just going like that. Maybe I should have, yeah, I should have just put it in like that. And then we're just gonna fill the rest. So because there wasn't any like healthy roots, making sure this stays really wet. And, you know, I'm not concerned about, you know, suffocating what's there just because you saw the test that I did with the substrate and that it's a well-draining, aerated situation. The water wouldn't be draining through the substrate if it wasn't. And so, wow, new beginnings, everyone. I forgot to add Myco. I'm always so scared. Ooh! Okay, well, it's too late. Why does this always happen? I put two, wait, look. Whatever. Okay, everyone send their prayers because we don't know if it's gonna make it. Okay, and in that time, I think I wanna just repot that one and make cuttings if I'm able to. Again, I don't think the root system's good. I think it was good enough to sustain the plant, but I don't think it's a good root system, especially seeing that rot situation. So I'm gonna get it out of LECA. I'm just gonna start off by removing the moss and taking a look. This is kind of weird. I just think long term it wasn't going to be happy. I mean, she was doing decently, but I think with the rotting in the reservoir, especially the aerial root in the moss pole with the mother plant. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm seeing roots I haven't seen before. And I'm thinking it's because every time you have a healthy root, it rots at the bottom. You still might get potential branching if you're still giving it the right conditions and part of the root is still healthy. So I'm actually seeing, hold on, I want to remove more moss and then show you. You see? This is an old root. Like, it's not on a newer part, but you can see a little thing there and then a little branch there. So that's actually great to see. Again, I can make conclusions all I want about this plant not liking LECA, but again, I've only grown this plant in LECA, so it could be something in the LECA. Maybe the pH is off. Maybe it's because, you know, there's a lot of cream that the plant hasn't been able to generate enough energy to sustain a big root system. Maybe this plant likes warmer conditions and I'm just like not able to give it. Yeah, these roots are like not good. See, every time a root would die on the end, it would branch on a higher part. Like I'm seeing a trend here with this plant. Okay, I want to take the moss pole off just to show how horrendous. Do you see? And I know a lot of these are old, or from older parts, but every time something would like rot at the bottom, it would branch. Do you see the new part there? That's the part I showed you earlier, these 2 points. I think ultimately I'm gonna have to, like this top part, I think I'm gonna have to propagate in water first. Again, we're getting to the part of the plant where it's not that green. So I feel like it's gonna be more difficult for them to root. It might take a lot longer. Okay, I'm actually gonna start chopping now. This top part's the easiest over here. Those roots don't look great. They don't look great at all. So I'm gonna start this one in water. Lots of green though, so that's good. Can take the next one. A lot of this root is healthy, but obviously the end isn't, so I'm gonna rely on branching. And I think I can put this one in a substrate already. I'm just gonna keep this part levitating a little bit. I'm not hopeful though. Look at the axillary bud. There's like 0 green where my finger is. This leaf with so little green. This one is so cute. Okay, so this is the one that had new root growth. So very promising. You could see the main root died over there, but it has a little thing there, a little thing there, and the axillary bud where the new plant will grow is right there. It's too cream. I might cut this leaf in half. Like I think I'm gonna cut around like that maybe. Yo, I can't even see the node. I can't even see it. So I guess maybe I'll keep this one as is with this like, I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. Okay, I'm not totally done, but washing all the, the dead roots, it revealed so much healthy. Like that, I didn't know was there. There is some in there. And then this part, you can see new roots over here. I think I showed this one already. But seeing that, I think I'm gonna cut this one in half. Call me crazy, but we're gonna do it. I think I have to pull out my knife though, because I think my shears are not small enough. Let me see. Oh, actually, hold on. Okay, then preserving the node, which is there. Wow. Okay, so this one has that root. It's the smallest node over here. The axillary bud. It's discolored. I think it's coming from a part that's more green. That's the leaf over here. So we're left with this one with, I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more. I'm bringing back these planters. I think I'm gonna put them in this bin. So the butt cut. I forgot to mention too, because I shared this on my Patreon like eons ago when I had a Patreon, but she grew and it was just pushing out cream leaves. So I had to cut her. And then it took a while just because, and you can see the remainder of a different axillary bud that tried, but this one was the one that succeeded, I guess. I'm gonna put it in here. Okay. Number one over here, you can rest over there. Second one is this one. Number two, I'll pot it up just like that. Number three is this one with that root system, which is, it looks questionable, but I think it's okay. Okay, this one's kind of levitating. I couldn't really push too much. So that's her. And then the last one is this one with, like, this looks so promising with these two. Man, this camera sucks at focusing. Okay. And that's the last one in tree fern. Now, the cutting of the leaves, I think I'm gonna do it just to get rid of the energy suckers here. I know this is pretty wild, but trust me, everyone, trust me. Especially with like leaves like this, that's predominantly cream. No, ma'am. This looks hilarious. Look at these. Okay, I'm just gonna do a roll call. So this one over here looks like this now. Then we have this one looking kind of like that variegated peace lily that I just got. This one, which is the butt, which has just this green. And I actually didn't cut this one yet. I think I'm just gonna cut this one in half. I think this side is balanced enough that I'll be okay. I'm just gonna cut this part in half. Oh, oh my god, or rip. Oh my god, this is like the prettiest half leaf ever. Okay, so that's number 4. Okay, so I'm putting the leaves, or the plants back, so the leaves are all kind of in one spot. Do you see that? They're all kind of here, just so when I put the grow light, and I'm probably gonna give this 1,000 to 2,000 foot candles, just for the beginning, and then I forgot to mention this one. I'm just gonna put it in water. Okay guys, I guess that's it. This video took longer than I thought. The mixing took longer than I thought. And then I was like so indecisive if I want to chop this one, which I did, which took longer than I thought. But fitting for a Monstera Monday, I want to thank everyone who is watching. It's December, everyone. Holiday time, Christmas time, my favorite. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.